Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about how you can get all your work done at Firestone Auto Parts for free and never have to pay anything. Nothing. Just kidding. That's not what we're talking about. We were talking about a deal I actually just negotiated with Firestone, and I did get my $480 brake pad and brake rotors for my Ford Explorer Sport 2017 for free. I'm going to talk to you guys how I did it, what was my thought process, how this even possibly happened, because in my head I was thinking there's no possible way this is going to actually work. But okay, so let's start from the beginning. About 10 o'clock this morning, I call Firestone. Well, backstory, like my brakes were really bad. I had to get my brakes bad. I could hear them the entire drive. I just drove from Tampa to Las Vegas in 39 hours, did the 36-hour drive in 39 hours. And the entire time, all I could hear was my brakes just like making these horrible noises. So I was like, okay, first day back, I need to get these brakes changed. Anyway, so I call Firestone this morning and I say, how long is it going to take for me to get my brakes changed? Because I have a lot of stuff that I needed to do today. Unfortunately, I couldn't get any of it done. They say it'll be about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And I was like, great, can we order the parts before I get there, so that way when I get there they're already ready? And they said, no, that's it's a policy, we can't do that. And I was like, can I pay for them? Like, I'll pay for them up front, that way they're there, you guys aren't going to order parts that don't end up getting used or anything. And they're like, sorry, it's just part of the company's policy, we can't order the parts until you get here. And I was just kind of bummed, and I was like, okay, well, that's a bummer, but I'll bring it in. He said an hour and a half to 2 hours, no big deal. Right? Okay, so I drop off the car. It's about 10:15, and after I drop it off, everything goes good. They tell me the price. It's going to be $480, so it's $460 plus I got some inspection stuff done, and it was another $20. Okay, so everything's all good. I call at 2 o'clock, and I was like, hey, you guys said it was going to be 2 hours. It's been almost 4 right now. It's like 3.5 hours, right? And they say, oh, yeah, they're just finishing up. The guy said he'll be done before 3 o'clock. So I'm like, great. I call, again, Uber. I go there. It's 3 o'clock. The car's not even done. It hasn't even been touched. And I was like, hey, what's going on with the Ford Explorer over there? They're like, oh, yeah, they ordered the wrong parts. It's gonna be like 5 or 10 more minutes, and then the parts will be here. So I'm like, okay, not really a big deal, right? It's 3 o'clock. 4 o'clock comes around, and I'm getting a little antsy. I'm like, I look out, the car is just sitting there. It hasn't been touched at all. So at that point, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, now they're going to have to give me a discount, because now it's been, It's been almost 6 hours. So I tell them, I'm like, hey, can I get like some kind of discount or something? Because clearly you guys said 2 hours. It's been almost 6 hours. It doesn't make any sense. You guys are just changing the brakes. Like, I could have done this myself. And they were like, yeah, really sorry. The brakes still haven't arrived. And I was like, you told me earlier, though, that you had ordered them and they were going to be here in 5-10 minutes, right? And they were like, yeah, so they actually ordered the wrong parts twice. I was like, okay. Now we're getting on, it's like 5:15 or so. And at this point, it's been 7 hours. They finally come up to me and they're like, okay, the car's done. Sorry about the wait. So I'm like, okay, no big deal. Like, the main part about this of why I needed to tell you guys the story, because I kept very calm. I did not get mad at all. There was this guy that was right in front of me, and his Escalade was being worked on, and the entire time he was making it a nightmare for these guys. He was yelling. He was making it like a huge deal, and I'm pretty sure they gave him like 10% off of his stuff. Anyways, nightmare of a customer. But I was being cool the whole time. I'm a very patient person. I'm a very, very patient person. So they come up to me and they tell me, okay, so yeah, we're going to take off $40 off the price. And I'm like, okay, wait, hold on. So you're telling me the extra 5 hours that I waited is only worth $40? Can I speak to a manager? And I was like, yeah. Or he was like, yeah, let me get my manager. He's like, okay, so what would you think would be a fair price? And I was like, I don't want to pay for it. You guys told me it'd be 2 hours. I wasted my entire day. He's like, you don't want to pay for any of it? Like, kind of like joking around. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to pay for any of it. I don't think you guys should charge me for any of that, because it took you over 3 times as long as it was going to. And prior to this, I thought, okay, as he was going to get the manager, I did a little quick brainstorm in my head. I was like, okay, what is my leverage in this situation? What can I leverage to these guys? Because clearly I'm trying to get the best deal possible. I don't have much leverage other than I'm a customer who comes there a lot. I go to Firestone for almost everything. So he's like, I cannot give you all this for free. It's almost $500 worth of stuff. I can probably take off the labor costs. Would that work for you? And I was like, if you take off the labor costs, I'll be happy, but I will leave you a bad Yelp review. I'll describe this entire situation, and I probably won't ever come back here anymore. And I was like, can you do me a favor and like look up how many times I've been here in the last 10 years? So he pulls up my account. He's like, yeah, it looks like you've been here at least 40 to 50 times. I was like, okay, so do you think the 40 to 50 times that I've been here over the last 10 years is worth your business in the future? Or do you think that this, $400 that you guys need for this brake parts and stuff is worth me never coming back? And he's like, yeah, looks like we're just gonna wipe off the cost for you then. I was like, amazing, thank you so much. Like, I cannot believe in my head. In my head, I was thinking like, you always aim for the stars and try to negotiate high, because usually you'll meet someone in the middle. Whenever there's any kind of negotiating situation, you have to think, okay, what's the best case scenario? And I thought, you know what? I've been here so many times. I can probably in my head, I didn't think there's no way I'll actually get this for free, but I was like, I'm just going to over negotiate. So that way, when we do come to the middle and we come to when we finally like negotiate on a price, it'll be somewhere around like the $200 to $300 range. I would have been fine with that. I was like, I sat there for a couple hours. Wasn't that big of a deal, to be honest. But this is how businesses are run, and like, I'm now going to continue to go there in the future. It's a win-win situation, you know? They're going to continue to get money from me in the future, and I'm happy, you know? Like, I was going to pay almost $500 for brake parts today, but I didn't have to pay anything. It's unfortunate that I had to sit there for a long time, but I'm happy. They'll be happy when I come back there because they did do an inspection, and they gave me all these things that I possibly need to get changed, and like, I was like, look, I'm not going to come back here for all this stuff if you guys are going to charge me for the stuff that took over 3 times as long, you know? So anytime there's any sort of negotiation situation, like when you think about this, all of life is a bunch of negotiated situations. Everything, literally everything in life. There was some kind of negotiation or price determination about how things got there. Everything can be negotiated, really, when you think about it. And I just want to talk to you guys about this because I read so many negotiation books over the last couple weeks, and I feel like the reason why I even got this kind of price was because of those books that I read. And I don't know. Anyways, I just felt like this was a very important story because I feel like anytime things come up, a lot of people get mad. They raise their temper gets hot. They kind of make it a nightmare for the situation, you know, and I was very calm in this situation. They wanted me to keep coming there. They wanted to keep me as a customer. It made sense, and I shot for the stars, and I finally got it, you know. Most of the time, you shoot for the stars, and you come up halfway or something like that, right? So anyways, I just want to talk to you guys about how I just made $500, basically, off of one negotiation situation. And this is why I want to tell you guys all the little things that go through my head in the situation, because just little negotiation tactics can save you so much money if you do it right, you know? You have to know what your leverage is in the situation, because there's always going to be some kind of leverage that you have. Like when I've negotiated deals with my shoe company and stuff, if they lose us as a customer, they're losing tens of thousands of dollars in the future for one little screw up that they make, right? So I have a ton of leverage. And you as a customer almost always have a ton of leverage. So always just look at what you can possibly add as your leverage point and what's going to happen if they lose you as a customer or anything in the future, you know? I'm sure something like this will happen. Comment down below if you guys haven't yet. Comment down below what is like one of the best situations that you guys have negotiated. How did it work out for you? And yeah, I don't know. I'm a happy customer now. You know what? I'm really happy today. I made $500. Anyways, I just want to tell you guys the story that just popped up because I really think that it's very important for people to think about these kind of situations. And really, what's most important, I think, is do not lose your temper. No one who loses their temper is ever going to get some kind of like blessing of a situation that I just got, you know? Like that kind of negotiation does not happen for someone who just constantly screams and yells, because they don't want you as a customer in the first place if you're going to come in and scream and yell. Like, I really doubt that they even care if that guy that was in front of me ever comes back there again. That guy was a nightmare. Anyways, if you guys enjoy these videos at all, if you enjoy getting value and stuff from my channel, please consider subscribing to the channel, and also smash the like button for me. It helps out my channel. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Hope everyone has a good day. We'll see you. Peace.